fighter. Dalai Lama from a weed supplier. I'm Muhammad to the rap game, that's my last name. My first should be Elijah, and I need a choir. Frequent flyer, gold medallion, Jesus peace. I'm the one, the real Jesus Maya, cause I'm trying to get niggas to leave the street. And I don't need to be, cause I can easily speak to these niggas through the frequencies to compete with me. You gon' need a priest to preach your sweetest needs, to give a hell of an Easter speech. I keep the heat right there underneath the seat. Got pulled over by the police this week. They asked me why I got this fully loaded piece with me. I say, officer, I'm just trying to make it home peacefully. So I'm riding with a rifle, another iron in the Bible. Call my niggas out in Paris, have them climb up the Eiffel. We don't give a fuck, cause it's all about survival. When you're caught up in the cycle, when you feel like you're entitled to more than what you get in it, to turn you homicidal. Y'all know that I'm the best, but I swear I'm in denial. And they don't wanna say it, cause I'm better than they idol. Got the mind of a disciple when I'm rocking the revival. But I'm soon to be the king, fuck you and your team. Bada boom, bada bing. If you don't like the way I rule my regime, let them up before June in the spring. I'm Desmond Tutu, mixed with the Zeus of the Zulus. I'm the leader of the new school. Man, I swear I'm starting to feel like Mandela Nelson. I want my troops to feel like Nelson. All these niggas wanna kill Nelson. Y'all gon' make me do 20 years like Nelson. Man, I start to feel like Nelson Mandela. Nelson Mandela. Nelson Mandela. Nelson Mandela. I start to feel like Nelson Mandela. Nelson Mandela. Nelson Mandela. Side high. Nelson Mandela. Yeah, Nelson Mandela. Get to know your ancestors. Can't tell me they ain't jealous of a 7-gram seller. It was something about Mary, nigga. I was Ben Stella. Now the fans mail us all the way from Manchester. Can't tell them shit if you ain't never spent time trying to sell a nigga just to get the car with the trunk in the front. Shout it, that's an elephant. Intelligent nigga with hella sense. Speak with such eloquence. Ever since I've been on a regiment, niggas been upset with Prince, but let them vent while I start a revolution. Seem like when you work hard, you never get your retribution. Niggas sending threats, but I keep something with me. Sound like doo-doo-doo-doo when I'm shooting. The same ones that was singing Huey Newton. Prince to a king, you don't see the evolution. 20 years in the PM, and that's really execution. So I encourage each and every student to stay in school, play it cool, obey the rules, or pay your dues, make a move, take a tool, or write some raps, make a mix, take a clue, and you can be dope as me, every food boy. Trying to get 40 acres in the mule boy. Rhyme with 40 acres in the two-door. I feel like Lorenz Tate in the pool hall. Right before Terrence Howard at the Newport. Nelson. I want my troops to feel like Nelson. All these niggas wanna kill Nelson. Y'all gon' make me do 20 years like Nelson. Man, I'm starting to feel like Nelson Mandela. 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 Nelson Mandela.
I think oftentimes when people hear me and see me, they think that I'm a fool. They think that somehow or another I've lost my mind, that I'm not down with the in crowd. They've said that nobody would love me and that I'm an outcast. But let me say this here now. We can be clear about anything. Please let me be clear about this. And I pray that it's received and understood. I don't want to be one of you. I don't want to be one of you weak men, weak people.
For my brother,
I'd rather
Kendrick
die.
Lamar.
Death is welcome rather than to call myself you spineless black men.
Side high, I ain't your traditional. Rapper smoking medicinal, stayed in detention. Life is all about principle, cynical ass niggas. Sorry that I offended you. I bring something different while niggas sounding identical. I'd rather drown in a swimming pool than to let you imbecile stop me from topping my pinnacle. Try me blocked by the genitals. Trust me, it's not intentional. It's the difference between a gangster and a criminal. Cause real gangsters can't do Breakfast Club interviews. A lot of you niggas don't own a business suit. A slave for every pair of Michael Jordan tennis shoe. But anywho, got your bitch walking around like she winning pool with no bottoms on, just the top of her swimming suit. What you gon' say when the niggas gon' try to get at you? Them in what army, or you just talking in general? Cause in the end, we all gon' die like them Seminoles, nigga.
happening in America today. The destruction of the family, the loss of integrity. When as a young boy, black shot down every day for years without stopping, when I look at what we are as black people, I'd rather be dead than to continue to live against such.
Y'all ain't trying to start a revolution. Y'all looking for a restitution. Niggas kill each other every day and ain't no evolution. My partner shot 100 niggas and it was never proven. We just labeled him a gangster and kept it moving. Let me give you the same outcome, separate shooting. A white man kill a black, we holler persecution. So instead of looting, it's time to find some better schooling. You can act like y'all don't understand when I'm elocuting. Did I stutter? I was never Reuben. Y'all ain't no Black Panthers. You wasn't there with Newton. You ain't Martin Martin. Try to better humans. Instead of all these rappers, we need some better students. It's time to rebuild the neighborhoods that we helped to ruin. And the NAACP, y'all need some help recruiting. Fuck a resolution. Let's get some retribution. I feel like Malcolm X when he left the movement. These niggas weed. I'm fucking up. These niggas weed. These niggas weed. I'm fucking up. These niggas weed. Yeah. Y'all know what it is, yeah, I said it, nigga. All you niggas laying up with these bitches with no condoms and shit. Having mistake babies and shit, leaving these women to motherfucking raise your kids by their motherfucking self. Yeah, my nigga, I said it. You don't like what's going on in the motherfucking America, leave this motherfucker. When they said we were free, my nigga, that mean we were free to go back where the fuck we came from, my nigga. Yeah, it's a whole motherfucking continent that belong to us, nigga. It's called Africa, motherfucker. What the fuck is y'all talking about? Y'all ain't trying to start no revolution. Y'all motherfuckers spent 10 bands on the motherfucking section in the motherfucking club. 10 bands to build a whole motherfucking neighborhood in Nigeria, nigga. Get the fuck out of here.
Yo, Halito. How everybody doing on this Saturday evening / afternoon? This afternoon for me. It'll be evening for my brothers and sisters on the East Coast. I ain't gonna hold you, man. My willingness to complete this show, and I don't even have nothing in mind. Like, I just seen this show that was done probably about hour and a half ago, and I said, yo, I'm gonna replay this little section where they talking about some shit that they don't know nothing about. So I don't have any sources in the descriptions. This wasn't planned. This is just just to build and take up a little free time until Not a Coincidence. I believe Not a Coincidence goes live later on today. If you're not subscribed to Not a Coincidence's channel, please go subscribe. It's just as I said, Not a Coincidence. That's the name of the channel. You'll recognize it by the Sankofa bird being the actual logo to the channel. So yeah, man, my brother is putting in some good work, you know what I'm saying, in the battle of the identity crisis, fighting against these ridiculous elbows, pretendians, wobbles, and everything else in between, you know what I mean? But yeah, my willingness to do this video depends on my laptop. So yeah, yesterday I cleaned out a lot of shit. So hopefully we won't have the same problem that we had yesterday. Cause I ain't finna play with this. I ain't finna play with this thing, man. You know what I mean? Like I said, Not a Coincidence is supposed to go live later on. I got the Josh Taylor Teofimo Lopez fight tonight. You know what I'm saying? Definitely not about to miss that for nothing. For nothing, homie. But what up, y'all, man? Teddy, Brother Khalil. Yeah, man. Feathers is up right now. They gonna be down. The more we continue attacking these dudes, them feathers is getting plucked. You know what I'm talking about? And I came into this fairly late. You know what I'm saying? I didn't expect it to go as deep as it's going. But it is. It did and it is. So, you know what I mean? We don't deal with it. So we did a show on Not a Coincidence channel last night. Speaking of Not a Coincidence. It was a marathon by 8 hours. And there was a lot of pseudo history and pseudoscience being disseminated in the midst of that live stream. You know what I'm saying? So them guys had me up late. I know they had Sean up super late with the ignorance and shit. You know what I'm saying? So I got up this afternoon and Aboriginal Power was live. He was replaying the video, a part of the video that we did on Not Coincidence's channel. This is before I hopped on the panel. We were, wrong freaking video. We were on, I believe, Lucky's channel before that. Either that was last night or the other night. You know, these days it's starting to get mixed up. But I told him before I hop on the panel, man, I gotta finish a game. You know what I'm saying? I'm in the playoffs. We in the conference. My team in the conference finals, and so I hadn't hopped on at this point yet. But we'll play a little portion of the video. Hold on. About to get into it.
Oh, okay. Well, that's
no, because we have black folks. We have black folks in this. For themselves in the past.
No bullshit already.
Have connected us back to the continent of Africa. On top of that, too, bro,
black people the same.
I'm gonna tell you this, bro. I've taken 4 DNA tests. I just sent in my 5th DNA test. So for all 4 DNA.
Yeah.
DNA test that link me back to Africa.
Walk away for 1 second.
I am genetically related to Africans.
And I'm proud of you. That's your story. So now, are all black people the same people?
All the people, I'm gonna tell you this right now. I'm gonna state this.
Hey, this is yes or no?
Folks,
are all black people the same?
Let's see if this helps. If this doesn't help, then
I'm getting ready to answer your question. It's gonna be brief.
Okay.
The black folks, all the black folks who are, no, I'm gonna do it. All the black folks who are the descendants of Western Central Africans in North Central and South America are Western Central African. And if you take a DNA test, we will be linked.
I want to see how you respond to this. Shout out to everybody that's in the building, man. We got 147 in here. Let's get a few people to hit that like button in the building. Come on, y'all. We got 140 something people in here and 80 likes. Let's get those likes up. If you're enjoying today's conversation, you enjoy the live stream, support the channel as well. All right. All right. Let's get these damn likes up. Also, man, shout out to everybody that's in the building. For those, man, if y'all want to inquire, BAP merch officially is out. Aboriginal Power Apparel. Make sure y'all go to the link down below. Shop. Go get you some Aboriginal Power merch. Also, in the next 10 minutes, we're going to have everyone in the chat to run over to Sarnetta and tell them let AP and A1 on and set up the debate with Jabari. We want everybody to go comment.
And don't forget he got to go with him. Don't forget a 2-for-1. 2-for-1. Real talk. But the video, if you can, drop the link of the video in the chat room so people can go.
Yeah, I will here in just a second.
We dropped the link for you, not a coincidence, brother. Cause you asking this niggas ridiculous fucking questions, man. I mean, and look, I don't even fuck with Choctaw Mac, but he don't know the environment he can set himself up for. He came on there like, "Hey guys, what y'all doing?" Like,
I want to build with y'all.
Yeah. What's up, fellas? How y'all doing? I want to chill. I want to build with y'all. We can work together, right? Look, nah, you ain't gonna be able to work together. They gonna not a coincidence right there. Not a coincidence.
What's good?
All right, so look, you did what you call an expose on me last week, right?
A little one. I could have did it. It could have went way worse.
Okay, all right. So look, out of all them DNA articles that I proposed and I presented, right? All of them shits is false, and I misunderstood what I was reading, right?
I will say the second part you misunderstood. Like I tried to show you in that one article, it said that you can tell somebody's geographical region.
Okay, so is the scientist saying that DNA and historical DNA ancestry is not absolute, right? It's not absolute, right?
Well, absolute is 100%.
Is it
DNA tests? I'm answering it. These DNA tests are 99.99%.
And it ain't even that.
You say so.
That's the reason why they got the task force. If it was 99.9.9.9.9.9%, because the 9 is going to continue, right?
No, it doesn't continue.
Yes, it do when you in a calculator, bro. Yes, it do. Because it's 0.
Well, we know because we know
0.1%, bro. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. That's three decimal points. So you're gonna move all the way till you're gonna move one to the right, second to the right, third to the right. So it's the 9s, but that's a whole other story. That's a whole other story. That's a whole other story.
So you got it's 90. It doesn't matter.
Is DNA absolute? Yes or no, brother?
It's as absolute as it can be. Like I said, it's 99.99%.
So you saying
yes,
that?
Yes, I'm saying it's absolute.
Okay. All right. So it's he says absolute. Look.
Well, and let me ask you another question. Is science? Can a scientific theory be a fact?
Science? No, because that's not how it works. Scientific theories are supported by fact.
Is a theory a fact?
That's not how it works, brother.
It'll
never be like no, because that's not how I said. No,
actually, it does. The science says this before any theory gets put out, that no theory can be proven as a fact in this positive sense. And this is
I just said that now. But you're losing context.
So a theory is not a fact, but in science, a theory means it is supported by the facts, right? They call it a theory. So you'll have wiggle room in case new evidence is presented. And that way you're able to update the science. Science is self-correcting. So they're going to leave that wiggle room just in case. It does not, this doesn't mean that a specific scientific theory is wrong. It's not what that means. These dudes have no understanding of science. They don't understand scientific jargon. And even after being told this shit, they refuse to look this shit up.
I'm not losing context. Listen, you don't even know the context of what I was asking. I asked you a simple question, and I just needed a simple answer. There was no other elaboration of context, so you don't know what my context was coming from. So you can't say it's out of context, sir.
Well, because the way you're trying to say it is definitely out of context. But good.
No, I asked you a simple question. There's no out of context by asking a simple
question. And I answered it. So the theory
is don't say it's out of context by asking a simple question, though.
All right, check it out, bro. The theory is not the facts. The theory is the conclusion that comes from these supported facts. So it's a bunch of facts.
What is the facts
that's organized?
What is the facts that's in the theory?
What theory are we talking about? We have to be specific.
So you're talking about wait.
Of evolution, for instance. What is the
but now you talking about the methodology. He know what a methodology is. Once we come up with a theory, you already know. If we mention theory, that means other steps before we came to a theory already that had to be processed or had to been conducted. So you already know where we going with this. So is a theory is not a fact, right?
And he's saying it's facts inside of the theory, and I'm asking him what fact is inside of the theory.
All right.
So it would depend on which actual scientific theory that we are discussing, right? So let me help y'all. Let me help these dudes out. And since I'm doing this on the fly, I'll drop this. I'll drop this link in the chat. Right, it's from the American Museum of Natural History, and it asks, "What is a theory?" And they use the word theory. Hold on 1 second, y'all. Forgot to plug my damn laptop up. Won't need that dying on me. All right, we back in action. In everyday use, the word theory often means an untested hunch or a guess without supporting evidence. This is their understanding of theory when we're talking about. But for scientists, a theory has nearly the opposite meaning. A theory is a well-substantiated explanation of an aspect of the natural world that can incorporate laws, hypotheses, and facts. The theory of gravitation, for instance, explains why apples fall from trees and astronauts float in space. Similarly, the theory of evolution explains why so many plants and animals, some very similar and some very different, exist on Earth now and in the past, as revealed by the fossil records. All right, a theory not only explains known facts, it also allows scientists to make predictions of what they should observe if a theory is true. So these predictions are tested by experimentation, right? They're tested and corroborated by the experimentation. Scientific theories are testable. Yeah, this is my first time reading this, so I didn't even know about that. Scientific theories are testable. New evidence should be compatible with a theory. If it isn't, the theory is refined or rejected. The longer the central element of a theory hold, the more observant it predicts. The more observations it predicts, the more tests it passes, the more facts it explains, the stronger the theory. Right? So the more we have these positive predictions, the more we have these observations, the stronger the theory holds. Many advances in science, the development of genetics after Darwin's death, for example, have greatly enhanced evolutionary thinking. Yet, even with these new advances, the theory of evolution still persists today, much as Darwin first described it, and is universally accepted by scientists. So, how you gonna get around it? I'm not reading that whole shit, man. We should know this by now.
Evolution. A fact that we have is that we have transitional fossils.
That's a theory. That's a theory. That's not fact. Like, for instance, I know you're gonna bring up the finch, right? You gonna go to the finch skulls?
No, I wasn't.
Where are you going with it? What fossils are you referencing to?
So we can look at whale fossils and see the transitional fossils. For actually seeing the nose, we can see the sprout or whatever it's called, with the breathing hole, where it goes from the front of the face to the top of the head. We actually see that transition through fossils. So that is a sign of evolution.
That's not evolution. That's just adaptation.
Now, not a coincidence is referring to gray whales evolving from land mammals, right? And this is the last show that we did, the last show that I did over here, yesterday or the day before. I explained this. Not only did I explain it, I pulled up the source material to back up what I said, right? So if you look in the description of the last video, it gives you the source material for adaptation. Now, I read this yesterday or the day before, so I'm just going to show this top paragraph, right? Adaptation. This is from National Geographic. It's an evolutionary adaptation. See, they leaving out the evolutionary. Evolutionary adaptation, or simply adaptation, is the adjustment of organisms to their environment in order to improve their chances at survival in said environment. This is a form of evolution, right? This is a form of evolution. In evolutionary theory, adaptation is the biological mechanism by which organisms adjust to new environments or to changes in their current environment. Although scientists discussed adaptation prior to the 1800s, it was not until then that Charles Darwin and Alfred Russel Wallace discovered the theory of natural selection. So this is evolution. Adaptation is evolution. You got to understand these words if you're going to use them shits. You got to understand these words if you're going to use them shits. These dudes just out here fucking talking just because they got lips.
Evolution, brother.
Not necessarily.
That's them trying to explain evolution from a religious scientific standpoint, sir.
So when you got right now we got some lizards that was moved, let's say, like 50 years ago from one place to another, and these lizards actually grew an additional stomach. So you're saying that's not evolution?
That's adaptation.
No,
that's part of evolution.
No, it's not evolution. It cannot be observed on no scale. No,
they're literally observed it now. They moved lizards 50 years ago, came back and looked at the lizards, and they're different.
Bro, and when you look at the genetic analysis of these lizards, they're saying that microbial distance of adaptation, that change was already in them. That's not a form of evolution. It's already in them. It's like a light switch that's been turned off and turned on. That's not evolution, sir.
This nigga is full of shit. What up, not a coincidence? This nigga is full of shit. He don't know what the fuck he talking about, and he don't have no source material to back that shit up.
That's exactly what evolution is. So, like with humans and pale skin. Hold on, yes it is, brother. With humans and pale skin, bro, that gene was already there in those people when they left from Africa. They was dark skinned people, but they had the gene for pale skin. Yes, it gets turned on when it's needed, but that's part of the evolutionary process.
That's not evolution.
Where did they go?
Okay.
Where did they go?
So after you left from Africa, Europe and Asia, America.
They went to Europe and Asia. So you think the people in Asia?
Oh, they're coming up with a prediction based off of present day observation. This is how they come up with that. They say that life started evolving around 3-point-something billion years ago. That's all speculation.
All right, you saying it's speculation? So you saying it's based on
the
nothing?
Science says it's speculation. They saying it's not a fact at all. No, that's why it's labeled theory.
No, so it's them interpreting the facts that they have, and that's how they come up to that conclusion.
So now understand that he's flip-flopping from evolution to the creation of life. Evolution is not made to explain how life started. It's made to explain the variation in life. You see what I'm saying? You're talking about abiogenesis. That's not evolution, dog. These niggas don't know these fucking words that they're trying to use.
Brother, no, it's not. It's not.
All you got to do,
so
guys, in the chat,
when they say,
listen, you observe evolution right now. That's all you got to do. Simple search. Go to Nature's Journal, whatever you want to go to, is going to tell you. You cannot observe evolution. And you believe we come from monkeys and all this shit. That's pseudo. That's pseudo. They have no evolutionary facts about that, and it cannot be observed at all. You cannot have no observation.
So when we look it up, it says evolution.
Scientific test. No way, form, shape, form.
So when I Google can evolution be observed, it says evolution is widely observable in laboratory and natural populations as they change over time. The fact we need annual flu vaccine is one example of observable evolution. At the same time, evolutionary theory explains more than observation as the succession of on the fossil record. So I don't know where you're getting this. We can't observe it from because I'll put it in the back chat. They say you can. I don't know where you're getting this from, bro.
I'd like to know where the fuck he getting this shit from too, because it don't make no sense. You're not gonna find scientists, evolutionary scientists, or evolutionary biologists that say that evolution cannot be observed. I think the fundamental fuck up that we have in here is the word observation, right? So this is from Understanding Science. This is a UC Berkeley source. I will drop it in the chat since I didn't put any links in the description. You feel me? Okay. Yeah, since I didn't put the links in the description, I just dropped it in the chat, yo. This is off the fly. But observation beyond our eyes, we typically think of observation as having being seen with our own eyes. But in science, observation can take many forms. Of course, we can make observations directly by seeing, feeling, hearing, and smelling. But we can also extend and refine our basic senses with tools, thermometers, microscopes, telescopes, radars, radiation sensors, X-ray crystallography, MRI machines, mass spectroscopy, etc. And these tools do a better job of observing than we can. Further, humans cannot directly sense many of the phenomena that science investigates. No amount of staring at the computer screen will ever let you see atoms that make it up or the UV radiation that it emits. In such cases, we must rely on indirect observations facilitated by tools. Through these tools, we can make many more observations, but much more precisely than those our basic senses are equipped to handle. You know what I mean? I think these niggas think that when you say observation, niggas don't observe. You can't observe evolution. I think they feel like niggas supposed to be there watching this shit change every second, every moment, and every second. Like, come on, man, you fucking stupid if you think that. It's not how it works, bro. When you talk about observation in science, it has to do with the senses, and it doesn't necessarily mean direct observation. Observation, with especially like with fossils and shit, once you observe these fossils, you matter of fact, I ain't gotta say shit. I'm gonna keep reading. Observation yields what scientists call data. Whether the observation is an experimental result, radiation measurements taken from an orbiting satellite, an infrared recording of a volcanic eruption. You're hearing these examples. All these are observations. Just because you didn't see the fucking volcano erupt, that doesn't mean that it can't be observed. That's not what the word means in science. An infrared recording of a volcanic eruption, or just noticing that a certain bird species always stumps the ground with its foot while foraging, they're all data. Scientists analyze and interpret the data in order to figure out how those data inform their hypotheses and theories. Do they support one idea over others, help refute an idea, or suggest an entirely new explanation? Through data, though data may seem complex and be represented by detailed graphs or complex statistical analysis, it's important to remember that at a basic level, they are simply observations. Observations inspire and lend support to and help refute scientific hypotheses and theories. However, theories and hypotheses, the fundamental structures of scientific knowledge, cannot be directly read off of nature. A falling ball, no matter how detailed our observation of it may be, does not directly tell us how gravity works. In collecting observations of all the different finches, the different finch species of Galapagos, directly tell us how their beaks evolve. Scientific knowledge is built as people come up with hypotheses and theories, repeatedly test them against observations of the natural world, and continue to refine those explanations based on new ideas and new observations. Observations are essential to the processes. Observation are essential to the process of science, but they are not the only part of the picture, right? So this is observation and science. When you're talking about observation, I don't have to sit there and stare at something changing over time for that to be an observation, yo. Not a coincidence when you going live. I'm really just doing this shit to waste some time until you go live. All right. So this another one. Science Learning Hub. This is what it's from. All right, drop that one down. Yeah, they saying shit like that, Khalil. Like they want us to watch a baby grow every second, every minute of every second of every minute. 20 to 30 minutes. All right, perfect. 'Cause I'm about to get up off here in a minute anyway. Let me see. All right. Observation is science. Observation is something we often do instinctively. It helps us decide, for instance, whether it is safe to cross the road. But observation is simply more than noticing something, it involves perception. We become aware of something through our senses. It also involves the recognition of the importance of what we're perceiving. Standing on a roadside, our eyes tell us cars are quickly approaching. We recognize that stepping in front of a car is dangerous, so we wait until the road is clear. Scientific observation, right? And this is a child looking at a plant. Observation is essential in science. Scientists use observation to collect and record data, which enables them to develop and then test hypotheses and theories. Scientists observe in many ways. They observe in many ways with their own senses or with tools like magnifying glasses, thermometers, satellites, and stethoscopes. Right? These tools allow for more precise and more accurate observations. Tools also help gather information about things beyond our capability to experience firsthand. Deep space, for example. Observation is also a skill. Like most skills, observation improves with practice and knowledge. To continue with the roadside analogy, as we grow up and gain more experience about crossing the road, we're able to make better judgments about vehicle speed, distance, and safety. Observation in science is the same. We learn to observe more scientifically when observations are prompted by appropriate questioning. Observations are connected with growing background knowledge on the subject or object under observation. Or we can learn more scientifically. We can learn to observe more scientifically when we are given the opportunity to share and discuss and debate observations, right? This is a debate. Debating observations is good. So I'm hoping I hear that Aboriginal power. I hear you trying to debate Aaron Ra. Yeah, the white boy, the Satanist. I hope you don't think that's gonna be a walk in the park, man. I've been watching this dude on and off for like 6 years. You cannot go into a debate with this dude saying shit like you can't observe evolution, saying shit like evolution is just a theory. You gonna get fucked up. You're going to get fucked up. This is what this dude does. He's been doing this shit for like 40 years, I think. Like, you're going to get fucked up, bro. Hopefully you ain't put no money on that shit. Hopefully it's just a debate for the sport. For example, we are familiar with water. It is a common substance we interact with many times a day, but we may not have observed it in a scientific manner. Questions like, does water have a shape, or can you splash water, can prompt us to observe water in a more meaningful way. The opportunities to experiment with water and discuss our experiments with shaping or squashing it are likely to modify our perceptions of this familiar substance. So observation in the colloquial sense and observation in the scientific sense is not the same thing. This is the point, yo. So observation is just the beginning. Observation is a good way to learn something new or to expand our knowledge, but it is it is only one component of science. Rather than piling up observations after another and calling it science, we need to interpret our observations and infer from them. So interpret our observations and infer from them. Once we've observed that water does not have a shape of its own, but it takes the shape of its container, we can infer that this property is shared with other liquids like milk, juice, then debate or test if it's true. Observations yield what scientists call data. Science analyze and interpret the data in order to figure out how the data informs their hypotheses and theories. Data can be represented by detailed graphs or models. At the most level, data is just recorded observations. So hopefully we've got a better understanding of observations, right? Observations don't mean you just sit and fucking watch something as it changes through time. That's not what that means. When you observe these fossils, we're seeing them, we're feeling them, we're noticing how similar they are to these other sets of fossils, etc., right? This is not a new channel, bro. It's not a new channel, my guy. But it's new to you. It's new to you. So yeah, man. Yeah, dude is gonna fucking murder that guy, man. Matter of fact. Matter of fact, man. Let me see if I can play. No. Actually, I want to play the video that I had lined up for the last live stream. That shit was on some other shit. Since my laptop ain't going into overdrive right now, I'm gonna test this shit out. Right, I'm gonna test this shit out and see if it will allow me to actually play this video. And after that, this video is like 20 minutes. Very good information though. But after that, I'm gonna get out of here because Not a Coincidence should be starting live after that. But
so we understand speciation. We have a common answer.
let's see. If this shit don't work, I'm gonna just hop on off, man.
Diverging into two species. So how can we map or how can we demonstrate those relationships? Yes, we can talk about it. There's a common ancestor to grizzly bears and polar bears. But what if I want to show the evolutionary history of multiple species? Well, we've got a tool for that. And that tool is called phylogenetic trees. And you've probably seen these before, even if you've never
All right, so check it out. I don't know what it is. It's not that video. It played AP video perfectly. I don't know what it is about this video, but I'll throw it in the chat. Anybody that's interested can have a look. See, it goes into the evidence for speciation from the phylogenetic tree to the evidence in the fossil records that we have, to the embryonic evidence that we have, the developed traits, the similar developed traits, the genetics, like all that shit, bro. It goes into everything, all the fields that we have evidence for in regards to a speciation, right? Speciation is a mechanism of macroevolution. So once people say that there's no evidence for macroevolution, then here you go. You know what I'm saying? We got that. We got it in multiple ways, more ways than one. And I showed this yesterday or the day before, and I showed it in multiple forms. Also, I made a distinguishment. People want to see you show a mosquito give birth to a mouse, like that just shows their basic fundamental lack of understanding of evolution, because it don't work like that. All creatures give birth to the same creature. You know what I mean? And speciation is nothing more than one species turning into another species. That could be a species of bird turning into a different species of bird. You don't have to go that far to prove evolution, to prove macroevolution. These dudes just don't understand what the fuck it is. So, yeah, that kind of irked me that video didn't play, but we gonna get on up out of here. Make sure, matter of fact, hold on, let me drop. Let me drop Not a Coincidence channel, man. So I want y'all to come over there. Everybody's here. I want y'all to come over there and help us continue this fight with the eyeballs. So 1 second. 1 second. I'm gonna drop this link in the chat. So that last link I just dropped, the NAC, is Not a Coincidence. Make sure you go to the brother's channel and subscribe to some good videos, some interesting conversations, some entertaining conversations, and I'm gonna get on up out of here.
I'm a freedom fighter, Dalai Lama from a weed supplier. I'm Muhammad to the rap game, that's my last name. My first should be Elijah, and I need a choir. Frequent flyer, gold medallion, Jesus peace. I'm the one, the real Jesus Maya, cause I'm trying to get niggas to lead the street. And I don't need to be, cause I can easily speak to these niggas through the frequencies to compete with me. You gon' need a priest to preach your sweetest needs, to give a hell of an Easter speech. I keep the heat right there underneath the seat. Got pulled over by the police this week. They asked me why I got this fully loaded piece with me. I say, officer, I'm just trying to make it home peacefully. So I'm riding with a rifle, another iron in the Bible. Call my niggas out in Paris, have them climb up the Eiffel. We don't give a fuck, cause it's all about survival. When you're caught up in the cycle, when you feel like you're entitled to more than what you get in it, to turn you homicidal. Y'all know that I'm the best, but I swear I'm in denial. And they don't wanna say it, cause I'm better than they idol. Got the mind of a disciple when I'm rocking the revival. But I'm soon to be the king. Fuck you and your team, bada boom, bada bing. If you don't like the way I rule my regime, let the motherfucker Jew niggas scream. I'm Dez Desmond Tutu, mixed with the Zeus of the Zulus. I'm the leader of the new school. Man, I swear I'm starting to feel like Mandela. I'm with my troops in the field like Nelson. All these niggas wanna kill. Nelson. Y'all gon' make me do 20 years like Nelson. Man, I'm starting to feel like Nelson Mandela. 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 Side Nelson Mandela. Yeah, Nelson Mandela. Get to know your ancestors. Can't tell me they ain't jealous of a 7-gram seller. It was something about Mary, nigga. I was Ben Stella. Now the fans, fan mellers all the way from Manchester. Can't tell them shit if you ain't never spent time trying to sell a nigga just to get the car with the trunk in the front. Shout it, that's an elephant. Intelligent nigga with hella sense. Speak with such eloquence. Ever since I've been on a regiment, niggas been upset with Prince, but let them bend while I start a revolution. Seem like when you work hard, you never get your retribution. Niggas sending threats, but I keep something with me. Sound like dooku 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 when I'm shooting. The same ones that was seeing Huey Newton. Prince to a king, you don't see the evolution. 20 years in the PM, and that's really execution. So I encourage each and every student to stay in school, play it cool, obey the rules, or pay your dues, make a move, take a tool, or write some raps, make a mixtape with Clue. And you can be dope as me, every food boy. Trying to get 40 acres in the mule boy. Rhyme with 40 acres in the two-door. I feel like Lorenz Tate in the pool hall. Right before Terrence Howard at the Newport. I'm with my troops in the field like Nelson. All these niggas wanna kill. Nelson. Y'all gon' make me do 20 years like Nelson. Man, I'm starting to feel like Nelson Mandela. 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 Nelson Mandela.
Man, I love that video, bro. I gotta drop a Don DeMarco before I go.
Don DeMarco.